And it's great to be with you for 66ers Safe at Home with former 66ers outfielder Torii Hunter Jr. And Torii, you're looking good, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Just trying to stay sane, being locked in the house. So, uh, yeah, just making it, man. How you doing?
About the same. I know both you and I are dads. You got a young family, and I know
Mhm.
for a lot, you can only speak for yourself, but I know for a lot of minor leaguers, they're cooped up playing video games and things like that. But
Yeah,
you have some other responsibilities.
yeah, man. I'm stuck trying to figure out how to entertain a 2-year-old for 10 hours of the day. So yeah, we're stuck trying to figure that out. I throw him in the pool every once in a while, take him on a walk, let him run around. Because you got to let him burn some energy, otherwise he's not gonna want to go to sleep. So yeah, man, that's pretty much how my day consists of. For the last 3 weeks, has been trying to entertain him every waking hour of the day. So yeah, man, it's been fun, but it's been kind of tough too because you kind of run out of things to do.
Sure, sure. Now, obviously, this is the time of year normally, though, where unfortunately we're all kind of pulled away from our families for long periods of time with the baseball season. And I know you are getting ready in Arizona for spring training and to really kind of get this season going. Kind of take us through how you were feeling about the process.
Yeah, so I was feeling really well, about going into spring training, going into the season. I had arrived at in Arizona early just to try to get my bearings before the season starts, and it's kind of a process that I like to do to get my mind right for the season. So I like to go out a little early and just get my mind right. And I was feeling like I was in a really good spot, and then all of a sudden, we got the call that it was, going to be canceled, and then shortly after that, we got sent home. So it was just kind of all just shocking news, being thrown on us at that time. But we're gradually learning how to, adapt and adjust, and uh, we're trying to stay ready, but we like there's really no telling when this thing is going to end.
Right. You say trying to stay ready. I mean, I'm sure you got a tee and a net and things like that, but
Yeah.
it's got to be tough to really get out there and play long toss things like that. How are you able to? What kind of things are you able to do in the meantime, other than chasing a 2-year-old, which is a pretty good workout, I can attest to. But
Yeah.
are you able to do any kind of baseball activities?
Yeah. So, I mean, thankfully, I have a cage that I can hit in and get swings in every day. And then I have a nice little workout setup too, and I have some land to run, so I can do pretty much everything that I need to do to stay in shape and stay in baseball shape as well. Uh, so I'm blessed to have all of that. Um, but even then, it's just kind of weird because normally you have uh, a date or a marker that you're gearing up toward,
Right.
but now you're just working out to just stay ready. It's just a weird uh, you know adjustment right now because
Right.
you're not really working toward a date. You're just working out, like
Right. April 9th is being pushed back and back and back for that
right.
opening day. Now, uh, you mentioned the word adjustment, and I think your career you've had to adjust more than most in the sense that for fans who maybe don't know or had forgotten. You played football at Notre Dame, one of the best programs of all time. I'm saying one of the best because I have to be open-minded, but I know you would say the best. Uh,
Yeah.
but you played football mostly and just kind of a little bit of baseball during those years. And then,
Hmm.
but because of your abilities, uh, you became a baseball player after college. And so you had a little bit of catching up in terms of adjustments. They had to be quick learning curves. Uh, how were you feeling heading into this spring in the sense that, uh, now you have a few years under your belt? I think no one's saying, okay, football player anymore. They're saying, all right,
Yeah.
this is baseball player Torii Hunter Jr.
Yeah. So I would say the exact same thing. I my first couple years, I was pretty much just out there kind of just grinding it out and trying to figure out who I was as a baseball player. because I had been playing multiple sports for so long that I was never really able to, grasp my true identity as a baseball player, who I was, what I could do, what I was capable of. But uh, over the last couple of years, I feel like I've kind of, thawed out, if that's what you want to call it. I started, starting to feel like a baseball player. I feel like I was moving more like a baseball player. The baseball movements, my throwing motion, different things like that, where I feel like they were starting to come, into fruition, just from being in the sport for so long. Uh, so yeah, this year I definitely felt like I was becoming, like I was at that point where I was like, all right, I feel like a baseball player now. Like I feel like I'm understanding my swing. I'm understanding different things about myself and how it's supposed to move, how it's supposed to work. That I could get to a point where I don't. It's like I'm not really thinking as much, and I can really go out and just kind of play the game. And I felt like I was like that in football. You get to a point where you don't really have to focus on, the little things, the little techniques all the time. It's just like, what is the pitcher going to do to me, and how can I stop him from doing that? And those are the things that you can focus on whenever uh, you get to a point where you're like, you feel comfortable in the sport that you're playing.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Well, it's funny. I mean, players are always thinking, but Yogi Berra said, "How am I supposed to hit and think at the same time?" And I
Mhm.
think what you're saying is, a lot of it is starting to become intuitive to you, and then you can focus on the little adjustments you need to make day to day.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's probably the perfect way to put it.
So, with that said, this would be the time where you guys are breaking camp and you're going to, uh, whatever affiliate you're being sent out to, and you've just had that spring training where by the end of it you're like, okay, let's get out of here.
Hmm.
As nice
Yeah.
as it is, and the facilities and all that, and the weather and all that, you guys want to bust out and get out to your affiliate and get into
Hmm.
some games. Um, Take fans what that experience is like, where you get to leave a complex. I know that you've had some injuries to deal with, but what that is like when they say go spread your wings and go out to the affiliate.
Yeah. So I guess I could give you a personal experience. Just my first spring training after football. Um, we have to go through spring training, but they have what they call extended spring training, and I had to, go through that my first year, and it's kind of, I don't want to say depressing, but it's not where you want to be, because it's
Right.
like you see all your friends going off to their affiliates and they're going to actually compete and win goals, or win games, and actually, fight for a playoff spot, different things like that. Whereas when you're extended, those stats really don't count until you start short season. So it's just like you're kind of out there still doing spring training games. But it felt like it was absolutely necessary for me to go there. But um, I definitely was like, I never want to go back. I don't want to experience that anymore. Like, going off to a team is like then you're there together. Like you can come up with goals and plans and expectations and different things like that. With a core group of guys, and you can fight toward that goal every day. Uh, and that's kind of what you look forward to whenever you you leave out and go to an affiliate. It's like, all right, now we can finally like compete with the same amount of guys, the guys that aren't really going to change. I mean, guys are going to go up and down, but for the most part, you're going to have that core group of guys, that are going to be there, and we can kind of start to create a cohesive bond and fight toward a goal. That's what we're looking forward to, really.
All right. So who would you be out palling around with right now? Who would you be cutting it up with in the outfield during batting practice and riding each other in the clubhouse a little bit?
uh, Man, I pretty much give it to everybody. I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open to who I hang out with. It's not just an outfielder thing or an infielder thing, or but I'm pretty open to who I hang out with. Uh, but yeah, man, I can't even really say like one person. I'm like in there clowning on everybody and having a good time with everybody. So
You told on yourself though. I hang out with everybody. I hang out with outfielders and infielders. No mention of pitchers.
Oh, I hang out with pitchers too, for
Okay,
sure.
okay.
For sure, for sure. I hang out with pitchers too.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you said no,
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 no.
no, no. I
There,
love my pitchers too, man. I crack jokes with them as well. Yeah,
all
for
right.
sure.
Fair, equal opportunity, Torii. I
You
got
tried to call me out. You tried to call me
you.
out.
Now, obviously, you mentioned earlier that, I mean, we're joking, but I mean, this is kind of scary what everyone's going through, and we
Yeah,
don't know what's next. You know, for there's lots of kind of not knowing and things in a baseball player's career where it's not in your control. What happens to you? I mean, it's your control if you're in the batter's box, things like that. But in terms of your career and things like that, uh, do you think some of these ball players maybe are, in a weird way, more set up for this simply because of the fact that, boy, they really are always kind of just waiting for a phone call and waiting for someone to tell them what's next?
yeah. So I think I was joking. I forgot who it was, but I was talking to somebody, and we were just like, dude, like if anybody's more prepared for this, it's baseball players. Like
Yeah,
we literally go day to day, not knowing what tomorrow's gonna hold for us. Like you never know if a team is just like, hey, look, we don't really have a spot for you. You could be playing well. You just never know what tomorrow's gonna be for, a baseball player. Like you could get called up, you could get sent down, you could get released. There's so many different things that can happen on a day-to-day basis uh, that you kind of have to find an inner peace and like something that can keep you grounded. Because if you try to worry about, things that you can't control, like you're gonna go insane and you're not gonna be able to perform at all. So you just try to, take it day by day and try to enjoy the things, that you have in front of you. You have an opportunity to play, you have whatever. And I think if, people try to, adapt to that mindset of like, hey, like, what do I have in front of me? What do I have right now? I have my family. I have all these different things right here in front of me. Like, let me take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So, yeah.
Well, Torii, we can't thank you enough for joining us. And this year's baseball card might be you chasing a 2-year-old, but that'll be a good one.
that's a good one. Yeah, for sure.
Torii, thanks so much. It's great to see you, and wish you all the best and all the health in the world to you and your family.
Thank you for having me, man. This is awesome.
That's Torii Hunter Jr., and we thank him for being with us. 66ers safe at home.